Alright, this time we're going to do a back princess. I'm going to go ahead and add 1/2 inch down the side of my page to begin with, and just push this up to the edge because I want my seam down the back on my princess line. And I'll just trace it on again. And I'm just going to blend as straight of a line as I can between the inside and the inside, and then the same thing on the outside edge to the outside edge. So it looks like I'm just going to trim off that curvy part on the one side, and we'll lose a little bit of ease. And then I'll just cut those two apart and add seam allowance. So because it's a back, I want two notches. So I'm measuring up 1 inch on both sides, and I'm going to put them 1/4 inch apart. You don't have to have them that close together, but because it's the back, I'm just going to go ahead and keep them close to each other and make sure that that's perpendicular. So I've got double and a single, and then just cut them apart and add seam allowance, and I've got my back princess line. There's my center back, and then these two little areas are garbage. So I'm going to cut the dart out. Just replace it with seam allowance. So I've got my center back and my side back, and these are the two little pieces that I'm throwing away. So I don't need those two. They're garbage now. Just glue them down and add seams. If I wanted to, I could have done it this way and used this one and had my back princess line go into the neckline instead. Works the same way. There I go with the glue. Seam allowance. keep that over at a right angle to the stitching line, and those will line up really nicely when we're sewing it together. My 1/2 inch seam allowance. Apparently you can't see it unless it's pink. Unless you've got something on the fold, you pretty much have to add seam allowance all the way around your princess line, because where the darts were has been converted to seam allowance. If you want to glue the whole thing to a piece of paper and cut it out so that there's a second layer, you're welcome to, but you don't have to. And if you don't have colored paper, you can use white and color it. Oops, I forgot to put my grain line on here. I can put this back on. And probably the easiest way would be to mark it with a pin, but I don't see one in front of me, so I just marked from the grid line. There's my side back. See if this will come off. No squiggly lines. Fill it all in nice and smooth. There's always someone that likes to take and squiggle, and I'd rather have nothing than squiggle. Okay, so there are both pieces together, and you want to check this, and because it starts out sewing together at a right angle right there, you don't have to do anything to it. Both the bottom and the top are going to work out right. And when you sew it together correctly, we've already marked those so they line up exactly. So this one, the green line is going to be parallel to the center back, but it's going to be cut too. So back princess, actually center back. Cut 2, size 8. What did I leave off? My name or back bodice. Side back princess. Cut 2, size 8. And if there was a skirt involved, you'd want to label this as the back princess bodice, center back princess bodice, and then the skirt, you'd add skirt too. Those two are finished.